What's going on, guys? Sam here. I am joined. Sorry, it is early in the morning for me. It's late at the night for this guy. His name is Mike. He's from the Unboxing Bros. We have just finished watching a great pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell 2016. It was a Raw exclusive pay-per-view. Mike, how you going, bro? How's your weekend been? And what time is it where you are, man? Because for me, it's early morning. It's about it's 11:28 in the morning, so it's nearing afternoon. But
It's 10:28 here. Now it's 10:28 p.m. my time.
oh, awesome. So, man, Hell in a Cell just finished. My goodness, bro. One of the best pay-per-views I've seen in a while. I'm telling you, I was so impressed with this pay-per-view. It actually blew my mind from the very beginning to the very end. And that was something that SmackDown wasn't able to do last pay-per-view. They didn't really keep our attention drawn the whole pay-per-view. This pay-per-view that Raw has set has just gone to an extreme level where now I don't think will SmackDown be able to top it. Anyway, let's get into it, man. I'm excited about where Raw is going now. I'm excited about Survivor Series, which is coming up at the end of this month. But man, this pay-per-view started off with Roman Reigns versus Rusev for the United States title in a Hell in a Cell. Now, I was quite surprised they opened up with the Hell in a Cell, but in the end, I thought it was a fantastic match. Great spots. Rusev really was shown as a dominant character in this match. Roman Reigns was shown as a dominant character in this match as well. The kendo stick spots in this match were incredible. There were just so many great spots in this match that I really, really enjoyed. It ended with Roman Reigns coming on top with a spear over the table, which I just thought was like, say what you want about Roman Reigns, but that spear was epic, and I absolutely enjoyed it. What were your thoughts on that first match of the night?
The match was intense, man. It threw me for a loop. It really did. I didn't expect Roman Reigns to win that like he did. I expected Rusev to win it at the very end whenever he had the chain in his mouth and he had him in the accolade,
Oh,
and then oh man, and when he got out of it, and then he speared him from the actual steps, I was like, you got to be kidding me. And he was like, dude, that was an epic spear, and I even sent you a GIF. The dude going all over this thing.
it's just
It was good, and I'm not a
it
Roman
was
Reigns fan. It was really good.
like Roman actually proved me wrong. Like I literally, I was giving up on him as a performer in the ring. I was giving up on him as a performer behind the mic. I still haven't been proved that he can hold the mic well, but with that match, man, it really restored my faith in him as to if he can be a great US title defender in the future. And I think the US title is in good hands at the moment. So I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a epic match right from the very, very beginning. Like he said, Rusev set up steps like near the beginning of the match on the ring on the corner. And man, we didn't even. I forgot they were there. And then halfway through the match, Roman Reigns gets thrown straight into him, and it was just like, whoa, okay. Like you remember, you start like it was just on the ball the whole time. And it was a great way to open up a fantastic pay-per-view, to be honest with you. Like it was just so good. Really, really, really enjoyed it. And Mr. Crazy Noob has just joined us on chat. It was a fantastic match. I really I loved it. Anyway, we go into the next match, and before we go into the next match, we had a little bit of discussion with Tom and Kevin Owens, and man, Tom Tom Phillips gets so much slack. I can't, like, the amount of crap he gets from Jericho and Owens is just it's funny, man. Like it's so good. Like but Owen said that his match between him and Seth Rollins is going to top the match between Roman Reigns and Rusev. And we'll get to that. And I can say that, man, he wasn't far from wrong, you know. So, and then we had Bayley versus Dana Brooke. Now, this match surprised me. It was quite a good. It was a good match. It wasn't a great match. It wasn't the best we've seen from Bayley, but in the end, it came with Bayley hitting the belly to Bayley or Bayley to belly on Dana Brooke for the win. Very good match. There were a few botches in there, but hey, in the end, you're going to get that in any match, especially when it's live. So yeah, it was just a good match. That's all I'll say about that one. What about your thoughts on the second match, Mike?
Dana looked hot coming out there. I'm just gonna throw that out there for the record. I mean, she looked
PG,
good.
Bro.
She did look really well. I mean, and including the spots that she hit were well done. There was a little miscommunication about midway through the match, and you could tell it was a little miscommunication. And then all of a sudden, you know, Bayley to belly, and then it was just 1, 2, 3, and I was like, well,
yeah.
You had the way the storyline should go. The face should win this first match at a pay-per-view, and then next month at Survivor Series, if they have a match, have them duke it out and let the heel win tremendously in dirty fashion or in clean fashion, depending on how you want the storyline to go. I mean, I like the way it's going so far in this feud. I see Dana actually progressing to a different tier, higher up on the card than where she was.
Yeah.
So it worked.
To be honest, I really want to see Dana Brooke take Charlotte to the max. I would love to see a Charlotte versus Dana Brooke like match, even if it was for the title. That would be an epic conclusion to their storyline, you know, and it would just set up for Bayley to win the title at WrestleMania if she's ready. But dude, an amazing night so far. Then we get to a backstage segment with Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon talking in the back. And I remember just messaging you, Jericho. And he just steps in and you could hear the crowd, man. They just popped like crazy. And this guy, dude, he can do anything. Like, he can do absolutely anything. And he's stellar at it. It was a great promo. He brought the list out. He went to write Foley's name on the list, but then Foley said that he would consider Jericho and Owens co-teaming, co-captaining Survivor Series match. And then as Jericho's walking out of the room, man, it seems like he's added Foley to the list. It was just all around, like, just a great segment. And this whole that whole gimmick is just awesome. Like, you do not have it.
Do you want to go on the list for a third time, Foley? Do you want to go on the list for a third time? Do you know what it means to go on the list for a third time?
You do not have it. It's just awesome, man. Like, as a heel, as a face, as a character, this whole he can change from being the Jericho in the Attitude Era, where he came out and he debuted going against the Rock in that great promo, to now where he can just encompass a character so easily and make it look so flawless. Oh man, he is like just incredible, man. Like, it was just awesome how close, like how awesomely tied up he is in this character, man.
And to make it even better, though, at the end of that whole segment, he said, "And you don't have it."
Yeah,
It's
like,
like, man, like you couldn't resist. You had to get it in there. You had to get it in there,
oh,
and it just topped it. I just started laughing, man. I was just like, God Almighty, get that man off a microphone now. Get him off. You're gonna kill the show. He's gonna ruin the show. Get him off the microphone.
oh, it was so good, man.
He's so
So
great on
good.
the microphone, dude. I mean, and even in the ring, still at his age and had the presence he does in that ring, he is the new age Shawn Michaels. He will
Well,
take that.
he's in his 40s now, man, and like he
And,
still goes with the younger talent, man. He still
and
pushes them to the limit, bro.
and
It's
they're like, how does
incredible.
he do this? How does he do this? And he's like, I'm just that damn good. CM Punk ain't
And,
even that good. And there CM Punk was like, I'm the best in the world. And
and
MJ,
those matches where that match at WrestleMania where Chris Jericho versus um, CM Punk, Chris Jericho made CM Punk look so good, man.
he
The
made him look
only reason that match was a good match was because of Chris Jericho. And this is the thing, like from very early days, man, when Jericho was in WCW, all he's ever gotten was better and better and better. And for him to be able to claim that he was the first ever undisputed champion, man, no one ever would be able to continue their role so strong as what Chris Jericho has after being able to. Vince McMahon has given him the rights to this, man, and he's just run with it. And like, dude, I can go on all day about Chris Jericho, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But this will make it a 3-hour episode of predictions, man, and we've got another episode coming up at the end of the week. So Enzo Amore versus Big Cat. Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. This was my toilet break. The whole promo that Enzo and Big Cass did at the beginning of the match was, I think, so choppy. It was just all over the place. It was up and down, round and round, in and out, upside down. I don't know. It was just everywhere. And like, it just really made me think, what is WWE doing with these guys? Like, it's not going anywhere. And I like, from where they debuted on Monday Night Raw to now, they're just in the same position as they were before, you know. There hasn't been any movement on the map. Anyway, the match began. I didn't watch the match at all. Like, I was on the toilet, like I said. But in the end, it was Gallo and Anderson that won the match. What were your thoughts on this match? I heard it was okay. It wasn't the best match. We were talking throughout the whole pay-per-view. But to be honest, I think it was really a letdown to the first two matches of the pay-per-view of the night. Like, we had the United States title match. We had the women's match, and then we get fed this, and it was just like, gosh, it's like, it's just gone really, really up there, and now it's come down, and it's like, okay, where are we going to go now? What were your thoughts?
my thoughts for this, like you said, the promo was hit and miss. I mean, he tried to pander to the crowd so hard, man. I mean, Enzo was pandering to them, talking about Toy Story. Then he talked about Big Poppy from the Boston Red Sox. Then he went to the Boston Celtics. I mean, it was just Boston, Boston, Boston. I mean, yeah, Mick Foley is the king of the cheap pop. You're not Mick Foley. Drop the act. Continue doing what you do best. Make you over. Don't put the crowd into the aspect of the actual promo. Yeah, I mean, you could do it once or twice, but don't continuously do it. Then he went to Toy Story, talking about Carl Anderson, Andy, and then calling Luke Gallows Big Gal. I was like, oh, this is stupid.
It wasn't needed, especially at the beginning of the match. It just wasn't. It wasn't something that was needed in the match at all, or in the pay per view at all. Sorry, my camera's going.
Oh, you're good, man. It was just in the match itself, it drug, man. And I knew that Enzo and Cass were going to lose because, I mean, you can only have so many times for them to try to get over with the crowd. Yeah, they're over with the crowd, but they're not really over in their in ring work. I mean, Big Cass is, but Enzo, he's just a, I mean, he's. I'm not trying.
Enzo's behind the ball a bit, and it's like they brought them up because they're so popular, but then the in-ring ability of Big Cass is amazing, but then the in-ring ability of Enzo is just flooring, and it's not great, you know. I can see Big Cass breaking up with Enzo Amore and maybe going on a singles run. I think that would be phenomenal. Seeing what they can both do in the singles competition, get Enzo into the cruiserweight division or something. I don't know. I reckon he would excel in the cruiserweight division, in the US title and stuff. I don't know, but with Big Cass, he would definitely be able to excel in the main event status if he was given enough of a chance and a bit of a push, you know. But yeah, that match really was a disappointment. I didn't enjoy it at all. But at the same time, it was an okay match. It wasn't like it bombed completely, but yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it wasn't the match of the night at all.
No, it was better than Nikki Bella and Carmella, but it wasn't as good as the Usos versus Rhino and Heath Slater last month.
Yeah. Yeah, it just was not. It wasn't appealing to me, if I say it that way. It wasn't appealing in the way where, oh, dude, it just frustrates me because these guys are so over with the crowd, but their in-ring ability is just flaking.
It's shoddy at best.
Oh, it's really flaking. Anderson and Gallows were there to really sort of give them a pickup. But man, it just flaked and it failed, and it didn't look good for Gallows and Anderson, and it didn't look good for Enzo and Cass in the end. So very disappointing. Then we get to the match, which, dude, I would call by this time the match of the night. Like, seriously, I was looking forward to the rest of the pay-per-view after this match. The Hell in a Cell for the WWE Universal title. My goodness, I was looking forward to this match so much, and man, I was not upset with this match whatsoever. It was so back and forth, pedigree, powerbomb, flipping, thrown into tables. Seth Rollins picking Owens up on his shoulders and like power bombing him through 2 freaking tables. Oh, dude, fire extinguishers going off into referees' faces. The door getting opened. Chris Jericho then running in, closing the door, locking the door, and then it was 2-on-1. Like, put Jericho into any situation and it's going to be epic. My goodness, the match was so good. Like, frog splash from Rollins onto flipping Owens. Like, it was so good. Jericho getting a pedigree from Rollins. Like, it was back and forth the whole time. Chair shots, freaking, oh man, it was just so good. The cage was used so well. It was really great spots, really well placed.
The senton bomb into the cell.
Oh man, that was Chris Jericho getting power bombed into the cell. Like, it was just epic. One massive move after another massive move after another massive move. And it was just mind-blowing. It ended with Owens power bombing Rollins through 2 chairs and pinning him. And I thought that was a great end to an amazing match. I was glad that it didn't have like Jericho knock him out and like pull Owens on top of Rollins. I was glad it ended clean. I was glad it ended with Owens being more dominant. And man, it was a great match, great match, and I was so happy to see what that match encompassed and how that match went.
I gotta put you on hold for a second. Owens and Jericho just hit Raw Talk, and they interrupted Bailey right now. Dude, I got to hear this. I have to hear this. I apologize.
That's good. I need to too.
Renee Young for wearing a David Pumpkin shirt. Whoa. Today. You know what happens to that? You just made the list.
It is my only opportunity. I have to wear something Halloween on television.
Right there. I'm not going to make the list. Hey,
I thought this shirt approved.
Lita says she's making the list. She's leaving.
Oh, that's great. Great. I don't know if we can air this on the channel, so I'm going to keep talking. But yeah, this may be copyright. I don't want to be taken down for copyright.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and mute that again. I'll mute that back. How about that?
My gosh, man. Jericho just coming in and putting everyone on the list, man. That's great. I've got to watch that after this. But my goodness, man, I just, like, they blow my mind. Those two, that just whole epic chemistry they have. And then to finish it off, right, Jericho comes in and gives Seth Rollins a code breaker and just stands there going, what? And then walks out. It was just like incredible. Like, I love the bloke. And oh man,
it was like instead of like saying you made the list, it's like, here, you didn't even make the list. You broke it. Oh man.
It was such a good match. Like, it was just so, like, you were on the edge of your seat the whole time the match was going. And like, it was just so good. I really, really enjoyed it. Oh man, it was great. Dude, what were your thoughts on that match? Like, Chris Jericho being added in, like, the whole referee situation, like the way that it all happened, like, what were your thoughts?
Man, the match was phenomenal. They're showing replays of the actual match right now. The Kevin Owens freaking suplex onto the ring apron was phenomenal. And Kevin Owens deliberately actually did it to the referee, then looked at it like, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, so good.
And then Jericho,
and the way he made it look like he didn't know what he was doing with the fire extinguisher after like getting the referee was just phenomenal. Like,
and the power bomb through the two tables was just awesome. Dude, and I loved it. And Jericho pulled the referee out of the ring, and I mean, Jericho's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then Jericho just stands there and watches Kevin Owens deliberately beat the living crap out of him with a steel chair. Like, I don't see that at all. and everybody's, for Jericho to turn on Owens, which would have been phenomenal if he would have. And then the powerbomb through both of the chairs for the 1, 2, 3 was just by far the highlight of that match. And Jericho looks down at Owens. I thought, like, oh my God, here's the chance. He's going to turn on him. Nope. Here goes a code breaker to Seth Rollins. Have a good day. And walks out, dude. It was
good.
It was like by far one of the greatest matches in WWE history to me, because they need to elevate that Universal title. And what better way to make this match right here the match to beat for that title?
Yeah, and there's going to be definitely a KO versus Y2J match. Kelly Weir wants it to be at Royal Rumble. I think it may be at WrestleMania, because I reckon if they were to headline WrestleMania, keep Kevin Owens in that position until WrestleMania, win the title at WrestleMania, Finn Balor then comes back on Monday Night Raw and then takes the title from Kevin Owens. That would be an epic weekend. And I tell you, I want to see Y2J hold that title again. I want to see him take it off of KO, and I think it will happen. Whether it is next month, the Survivor Series, or whether it is at the Royal Rumble, or whether it is at WrestleMania, we will see another run for Y2J.
It makes more sense around Royal Rumble, No Way Out. It makes more sense around that area than WrestleMania, because WrestleMania should be whoever's champion at that time was probably Kevin Owens, or actually it could be Jericho, and Jericho could actually feud with Finn Balor, and I would love to see that. Prince Devitt, aka Finn Balor, versus Y2J Chris Jericho.
Oh, dude, that would be in my sight one of the best matches of all time. Finn Balor is a phenomenal wrestler. You've got then Y2J is a phenomenal wrestler. Both have gone through NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. They've both just done great things worldwide.
And they both have pinned Jushin Thunder Liger. Just saying.
Oh, dude, I'm very excited about that match. Anyway, that match was amazing. And then it got shut down with a flipping cruiserweight title match. And I said to you, I hope the momentum doesn't stop. And the momentum did. It went up, and then it came crashing down with this match. It ended in a really bad way, with Kendrick pretending his knee was sore and then applying the captain's hook to win the title. That whole move, in my mind, is absolutely stupid. But with Brian Kendrick carrying the Cruiserweight Championship, this is a thank you from WWE for all the hard work that Kendrick has done behind the scenes and in front of the camera for the newer talent. And I don't see Brian Kendrick holding it for long. I see TJ Perkins taking it back, or I can see Mr. Richie Rich take it back. I would like to see Richie Rich take it back, because I think Rich as a champion would be good for WWE. What are your thoughts on the match? What are your thoughts on the Cruiserweight title at the moment? And where do you see, or who do you see being the next WWE Cruiserweight champion?
The match to me was a letdown. It was a good match. It was good, solid paced. It was phenomenally good. The ending, I'm not impressed with, because of the backstage segment they talked about way earlier in the show about him on the kickoff. You need to let me win. And it kind of looked kind of thrown together and kind of mismatchy and kind of splitchy-splotchy, but there was no botches in the match. It was none whatsoever. The only bad thing about it was whenever they did the thing, you could tell that TJP, he knew what was going on. I mean, he had that look at the very end where he's like, is he really hurt, or is he faking? You could see it was kind of like, whatever, because TJP, and honest in my opinion, is one of the greatest wrestlers in the cruiserweight division. He's only a great person in the ring, but he's also a great person out of that ring, and he's a tremendous person in general. But now, after that match was over, and I even told you, I said a couple of choice words. I'm not going to repeat here. I'm going to leave that for me, mine, and your benefit. But I will say this: the next cruiserweight champion, because this right here is a transition period. They're putting him to give it away to another champion to bring up some of that younger talent you were talking about, to actually showcase that younger talent. I'm going to say Tony Nese, man.
Tony Nese. Ooh.
I'm going to say Tony Nese.
Yeah,
I would love to say Gargano or Ciampa, but Nese is where it's at, man.
I saw Nese. Now Nese was part of the 6x6 tag match at the beginning at the kickoff show, which I didn't allude to because I didn't really pay any attention to it. But Nese is a great in-ring performer, but they are putting a lot of spotlight on Rich Swann at the moment. That's why I'm sort of going along that lines, because at the kickoff show they also were interviewing Rich Swann or Rick Swann, And like I don't know, I think he will. I think we will see Swan get that title before Nice. I don't know if Nice is ready yet. Maybe a little bit longer. Maybe give Nice the title at WrestleMania. I reckon that would push him to a platform even greater than Rich Swann, where he is unstoppable. Like, this is where we're going to contradict, because you've watched Nice your whole life. You've been a big Nice fan for a very long time.
I've actually been a Drew Gulak fan. I'm not really a Nice fan. I'm a Gulak fan. Remember that. I'm a Drew Gulak fan. But I'm too. And a Rich Swann fan. I love Combat Zone. I do.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and record and say that. But go ahead. I'll let you finish your rant. But I'm not contradicting you, boss. I promise you, man. I promise you. I hope.
I don't want to see Nice get the title too early. You know what I mean? I don't want to see him get the title too early when he isn't ready, because if he gets it when he's not ready, then it's going to fall, and the whole run that he has is going to be worthless. But if he gets to the point where he is beating every single person on the roster, on the cruiserweight roster, and then takes the title, then it's going to be great. Rich Swann has already pinned Brian Kendrick. Rich Swann has already got the crowd on his side to a point where they sing his song all the time.
But
they do.
Bozzy, the question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it? You know what I mean? Like, it's so catchy. The crowd is so over with him. He's so over with the crowd. I think he will get the title first, and then Nice will take it off of him. That's the way my mind is clicking at the moment. This is the way I see the storylines happening. He's beaten Kendrick already, and now for him to then take the title off of Kendrick would be a great way to basically push him to the next level, especially with Kendrick working with him. I can see Mike's laughing. Tell me what's going on, buddy.
Kevin Owens walked in front of the camera, and he just stood there, and he's like holding the title, and then he just walked. I didn't hear what he was saying, but I'm just laughing because I can just imagine with him just standing there with the title and then walking away. And Renee Young's face, man, is just priceless. And he walked back in front of the camera again twice. It's good.
Dude, this whole chemistry between... I think this whole episode's going to be going back to Jericho and Owens, because they had such a phenomenal night, man. It was just so good. And I was very, very entertained by both of them, you know. So, great night. What's that?
So let's keep going forward, though, man, because we keep going backwards.
And then we get to the tag team title match with Sheamus and Cesaro versus the New Day. I gotta say, the match was good. The match was good. I enjoyed it. It didn't finish the way I wanted it to finish. By the end of the match, you saw Cesaro and Sheamus working together, but then it ended in a DQ, and I was like, are you serious? Because we don't want to see that sort of crap in a WWE title, in a WWE tag team title match. It's the same old stuff for the New Day. They keep winning cheaply, and it sucks. When are we going to see the New Day win the title from by actually winning the title clean? Like, they haven't done it for such a long time, and it's really disappointing for me.
Well, they did make a comment during the pay-per-view that they're catching up the Demolition's reign of 487 days. And I really do hope that they continue to hold that title up until or longer than Demolition, because I think they'll be number 2 or number 3 longest reigning champions. They'll be number one.
Number one. Demolition has held the title for the longest in history. So, and Demolition weren't the best tag team ever either. So, it would be. I really do want to see them hold the titles up to that. this day, DQ also did give Sheamus and Cesaro a chance for a rematch. So I really do hope that they do take the titles off of New Day now. I'm really stoked by the way they're working together and by the way that they have been working together. So their out of ring segments have been so funny. Like it's great to watch, and like, but in saying that, they will never be the team like Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. I don't think we'll ever see a team like that ever again. No, it was great. It was a good match, and I was a bit disappointed in the ending, but at the same time, I was happy with how it turned out. So, what were your thoughts on that match, Steve?
There was a lot of botches between Cesaro and Woods. Other than that, I was okay with the match. I was okay the way it ended. However, I thought the ending was a little botchy. I think I explained to you how I thought it was ended kind of botchy. But like you said, maybe it was done that way to make it look like, hey, he didn't tap out before the DQ happened, or vice versa, or whatever. But it also could lead to a storyline tomorrow night on Raw where Sheamus goes and talks to Mick Foley and says, hey, look, he was already tapping. He was already tapping before he threw the DQ button. Why don't you reverse the decision or something and give him another title match later on in the night, or even at Survivor Series if they wanted to, or even after Survivor Series if they wanted to.
Survivor Series is going to be the tag teams against the tag teams, and there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to have the New Day, Cesaro, maybe Enzo and Cass and Anderson and Gallows all on one side versus the other 5 tag teams.
But you're forgetting one, though, man. You're forgetting one. Jericho and KO.
No, I think Jericho and KO are going to be in the and this is where we're going to disagree again. I think they're going to be in the top 5 guys, singles wrestlers. And I think Jericho is going to turn on Owens to cost them the match. I think so, and that would be a great way to set up a feud between Jericho and Kevin Owens. So we'll just have to wait and see. Survivor Series is coming up, and I've got something to announce at the end of this. But we've got the final match, the main event of the night.
Wait, hold on.
No, we're already there, man. We're already there.
Right. Yeah, we are.
We are already there. This pay-per-view had less matches, but there was a reason there was less matches on the pay-per-view card. And I'm going to go right into it now. The Hell in a Cell match for the Women's Championship. My goodness. I'm going to raise my hands up right now and say that Charlotte Flair and Sasha, my goodness, you are the best women's wrestlers of all time. You, my dear queens, are amazing, like absolutely amazing. Match started off great with Charlotte coming out to the ring like a queen on the platform. Then we see Becky Lynch come out in the car as a total boss with her henchman. In the SUV, as they call it.
Sasha Banks, not Becky Lynch.
Sorry, Sasha Banks. Oops. Becky Lynch is on the other channel.
On the other brand, yeah.
This was awesome. Like, this whole thing was awesome. The cell starts lowering. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Charlotte knocks Sasha out of the ring underneath the cell. So they stop the cell from lowering. They get out, and there's a big brawl that happens on the outside, right? Charlotte gets thrown into the crowd. Like, they fight in the crowd. Then they get thrown back into ringside. The cell's already down by then. Charlotte starts to try and climb her way up the cell. Banks follows her, right? The announce table's been destroyed. Then out of nowhere, Charlotte power bombs Sasha into the table and both me and Mike were messaging each other going, man, this cannot be it, man. This cannot be it. This cannot be the end of it. Sasha couldn't even walk. Like, she was selling that injury so well. It got to the point where they brought EMTs out, and then they were about to announce Charlotte as the winner by forfeit, but then Banks just went nuts, started knocking EMTs out, got into the cell, locked the doors, and by far the best match of the night. Women's wrestling has been catapulted to main event status as we see a match of the century. I am going to be crazy and announce this as a match of the century because, my gosh, these two girls put on a show. Like, this pay-per-view was supposed to end at 11 o'clock. They went overtime by 15 flipping minutes. And I just couldn't believe how great this match was. Like, power bombs into steel cages, thrown into steel cages. Like, it was just steel chairs. Like, steel chairs were brought into the match. It was phenomenal. I loved the match, but it did end, sadly, when we saw Sasha Banks lose the title to Charlotte, and we've got a new 3-time world champion, women's champion. She has now put her foot down as the queen of all time for women's wrestling, and even though Sasha Banks did lose, we saw one of the best matches by far I've seen in a long time. I'm so glad that match was main event. This outshone the US title. This outshone the Universal title. This has put the women's title in such an amazing spot on top of the ladder in WWE Raw. It was one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in a while. Like, with this match and all 3 Hell in a Cell matches combined, it was one great match, and I just, my mind's blown. Give me your thoughts, dude. I really, really love this match, and I thought it was phenomenal. If I've missed anything, let me know. I was just mind blown, man. Mind blown.
Okay. First of all, when like you said, it was really good. At first, I was like, man. And then I thought about what was the very first Hell in a Cell like. I remember Mick Foley getting thrown through not just off the top of the Hell in a Cell, but through the Hell in a Cell, and continued to wrestle. I mean, dude, and it was phenomenal. And this match right here didn't have that flair, but it brought a different flair to the actual match due to the fact
it brought Charlotte flair.
It did bring Charlotte Flair,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But it had let me put it this way: it had a different type of feel to it. How about that?
Yeah.
And it almost had like a throwback feel of watching Mankind versus The Undertaker, but in a little different aspect. These women were actually wrestlers. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, Undertaker and Mick Foley back then were considered wrestlers, but we both know them as hardcore acolytes or accolades, basically. You know, Undertaker, after years of actually being in the ring, he can actually learn how to wrestle. But, you know, nothing taken away from either one of those men. They're both great men. They're both great athletes. They're both great legends in the business. But now let's go back to this actual match. Whenever Sasha Banks went through the announce table and she sold that injury and was on the stretcher and then got off the stretcher and went back into the ring like a madman, I thought of HBK. I was like, wow.
Dude. It gave me this feel of like greatest, like she's one of the greatest performers of all time, man. Like, amazing performer. Like, she can sell anything, she can make anything look good, and it's just so good to see the women's division getting catapulted to the point where they are the main event stars, man. And when what you were saying about them bringing tribute to the first ever Hell in a Cell match, I do believe that the promo at the beginning saw clippets from the Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Mankind, and like for me that was just such a standout because I witnessed the first ever Hell in a Cell match. That's what got me so hooked on WWE, like onto wrestling, was because I saw like Mick Foley getting thrown off the top of the steel cage. You know, I was sort of worried at one stage because Sasha kicked Charlotte off the cage, and then like it looked like she was going to keep climbing up to the top and like do a dive off the top, and I was like, don't do that, you'll ruin your career. Like I was like, don't do that, I know you're crazy, but don't do that. Just don't do that.
But I think I even sent you a message where I thought she was going to go through the door, man, because Charlotte's like, open this door. I was like, yes, let's go through the door. Let's go through the door.
I thought it, but in saying that, man, like they already did that outside of the ring. Like they did that. They couldn't have topped that if they tried, unless they were going to go up the top and kill each other on the top, which I don't think Vince McMahon would allow because he wants to keep that's so dangerous, doing that sort of stuff up the top of the ring, man. And with the cell basically being 2 cells high now, it's just like you can't risk that on anyone, unless you're an absolute nutcase like Shane McMahon and you jump off the top of the cage onto Undertaker while he's on the table. That's just ridiculous.
And now, but I'm going to finish my thoughts and we'll continue on. All right.
Yeah.
So, the inside the match, I even texted you. I think when you were, like you said, when you were going back and forth, I said, "Is Charlotte crying?" Yeah, man, emotions are running high. And when I seen tears fall in her eyes, and they kept giving close-ups of Charlotte Flair's eyes, man, I was like, dude, something. This match means something. And I just didn't quite grasp it until the very end of the match before me and you got on here. When he threw her into the table and it didn't break, she picked up Sasha and she looked at her and she made sure that she knew that she was going back through it again. Like you knew that's what she was going to do, to try to break that table, because she didn't want to give her the Queen's whatever it is, the crap, what is that she called that? The move that she did to pin Sasha. What was that called?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like it's an epic move, but it's great.
It's called the Queen something. But anyway, and whenever she threw her in that second time and Sasha rolled off that table, I was like, oh no. And then she did it and I was like, oh no. And man, and me and you both were like, I can't believe she lost. And
like it was a sad way to end the match. That was that stellar, but at the same, it's called the natural selection, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Whoever answered that, thank you.
Thanks, Weir. Thanks for answering that, buddy. But seriously, the match was epic. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm interested to see what happens on Raw tomorrow. But guys, that's it. That was Hell in the Cell 2016. Now I'm going to plug a few things. I'm going to plug a few things for my channel this week. Please tune in on Friday morning Australian time, Thursday night American time, to see me and Mike once again this week in wrestling. We are also going to be doing a Survivor Series predictions and a Survivor Series review. This will be happening on my channel. Now, before, I've been doing all the main pay-per-view predictions and reviews on Flipping the Nerds channel. We're going to see if he wants to join us on this channel for this. We've got a great thing going at the moment, and it is going really well. I am very happy with what's happening at the moment with the channel. Thank you so much, guys, for all your support. I want to promote the Unboxing Bros channel. Their link is in the description. All my Twitter and Instagram links are in the description. These guys are phenomenal. Mike, it is such a pleasure every week to be able to do these shows with you, man. I thank you so much for being my co-host. This show is going to go off, and I know in the future we are going to be looking back at this and seeing how far we've come. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you, Weir. Thank you, Banks. Thank you, everyone who got in on the comments. Guys, I hope you enjoyed Hell in a Cell 2016. That is it from me. Mike, do you have anything to say, buddy?
Yes, I do. I have a lot to say. Thank you, by the way, Boz, and plugging us. We appreciate it. We'll be going live tonight whenever Steve gets home from work. Miss you, buddy. Hurry up and get home. Probably be next hour or so. We'll be going live. We'll be unboxing the BAM box for this month. Also, we'll be unboxing Noob's awesome giveaway and stuff that he traded with Steve. And I've been informed to tell Noob, if he's still here, that we are shipping tomorrow. I promise you, we will be shipping tomorrow. So also check us out on our channel as well. And he's got Loot Crate. Look at that, gentlemen. Look at that. He's got a Loot Crate.
I will be doing another video in literally in 10 seconds after this. I'll be going live again with a Loot Crate unboxing. I haven't opened it yet. It's either going to be today if I can be bothered, or it will be by the end of the week. This is the Halloween edition. So yeah, that's me.
Also on our channel, since we didn't make the 300 mark, I didn't go as Rocky to my birthday event of Rocky Horror Picture Show. You guys suck. And I'm playing. Thank you guys for not going 300. I appreciate that with all my heart. Thank you guys for not going to 300. Now you can go to 300 all you want to. It was a blast. Thank you everybody for giving me my birthday wishes, Boz included. Everyone that gave me birthday wishes, sent me IM, sent me PM, sent me something. Even some people sent me prostitutes on my Facebook wall. It was pretty disturbing, but thank you. It was terrible.
That's so bad.
But I'm sorry for plugging that, but but anyway, I appreciate everybody for the well wishes and everything on my birthday, and continued support for us, the Unboxing Bros, and Bozzy's channel, and everyone else's channel that's been here helping us and Bozzy out from the beginning. I want to give a shout out as well to Kelly and Noob and the Legend. Legend's live right now doing his review special of the WWE Hell in a Cell. If you want to go by and check him out. No disrespect to the Legend. He's more than welcome to come over here anytime he wants to as well.
Yeah, man.
And also want to give a shout out to everyone that's, been a fan of wrestling since day one, like I have and you have, and a couple of others that's in the chat room right now. And I also want to say one special thing. Bullet Bob Armstrong, if you're listening, sir, if you ever watch us, I'll be getting in touch with you ASAP. I want to hear your thoughts and some stuff about what you think with the actual product in wrestling today. You're a true legend. Your whole family's a legend. You're like the Von Erichs, but you're all still alive. No offense to the Von Erichs. No offense to them at all. Lacey is she's a genuine person, even though she's not really a wrestler. The Von Erich family is a legend in itself, but the true Southern family of wrestling is and always will be the Armstrongs, in my opinion.
And for me, same thing, man. Armstrongs kill it, man. Like they're fantastic. We're hoping to have some special guests sometime later down the track. I'm not going to spoil it just in case it doesn't happen, but fingers crossed in a couple of months we may have some pretty special guests coming live with us on This Week in Wrestling. Keep an eye out for that. Until then, subscribe for more content. Twitter and Instagram links are all in the description. The Unboxing Bros link is in the description. And don't forget, guys, like always, keep smiling. You are so worth it.
Yes, you are.